week, late last week, Elliott Whitehead announced that he's finishing up with the club at the end of the season, and plenty of tributes have come through for Elliott. What has he meant to this club in his time here?
You know, it was a big commitment leaving his mum and his sister back home all those years ago, and he basically came here to challenge himself in the NRL, and he's succeeded. He's been a wonderful addition to this club outside his football. He's a great raider. His on-field performances have been all led through toughness in his actions. You know, it's not as though he speaks volumes. But there's volumes in his play, and there's been many games where he probably shouldn't have played, and he had played with injury. There's been many games that his toughness has got the team and got him through many rough periods.
You made the decision to make him captain alongside Jared a couple of years ago, and he's the current captain. How much have you been able to lean on him for that leadership experience as well?
It was only today. I lent on him again in regards to needing something with the boys. Outside just being his coach, I've got a really good friendship with Elliot. I trust Smell. He's got the one thing he's got at heart is his players. He's a very loyal person, Elliot. To his coaches, to his staff, to his players, and he's got a mountain of respect for myself in regards to his contribution to this club.
Elliot will finish up at the season, and then next season we'll welcome a new Englishman. Matty Nicholson signed late last week as well. Another really wonderful prospect to add to the roster going forward. Yeah,
he's similar to Morgan, Matty. Very similar to Elliot. Young boy who's had all the right development pathway in his football, and a terrific young fellow. Just talking to him over the phone a number of times. It's only on the weekend I just text him and wish him all the best for his football, and he's really looking forward to being a Raider as well. And look, we've had so much success with our Englishmen, and I know Matty Nicholson will be similar to Josh Hodgson's and Elliott Whitehead's in regards to the success they've had at this club. And I'm looking forward to coaching him. He'll be a great addition.
On the field now, obviously Jamal and Zach and Hudson all back in the team this weekend. But Jamal and Zach in particular, they've been out for an extended period, and I'm sure you're looking forward to having them back.
Look, having that experience back's been really noticed this week in our sessions on the field, just the direction. But I've got to say that the younger players that have filled in there, in Adam Cook, Strangey, Kaio, they've done an amazing job filling in for Jamal, and it was probably more noticeable this week in how big a job they've done for where we're sitting on the table. We've been disappointed with our results over the last month, but where we are actually sitting on our table at the moment is due to those younger blokes coming into those key positions that, and Ricky Stuart too at fullback. The younger boys getting that experience and standing up at an NRL level with not having a lot of football under their names has been a massive achievement on their part. Just getting Jamal and Hosking back this week's given us some experience, and you can feel it around the HQ.
A few of the players mentioned this week that they felt the intensity of training go up a level too, with those guys back in, and obviously Jamal brings that voice and that experience in a key position.
Experience and talent does that, Ben, for younger players. The younger players around those experienced and talented footy players, they find that reinvigoration, they find that motivation, and carries on to a little bit of momentum, hopefully.
With Zach, the decision was made to see how he's going, and he said that he's got full confidence in the work that he's put in, and I'm sure that you're looking forward to utilising him because he had such a really good start to the season.
Yeah, he's been a big miss too. I think people underestimate what Zach's start to the season accomplished for the squad. He was a lot of energy around the field. He does a lot of the hard work, a lot of the work that people don't see in defence. Some of his lines and attack has was a great contribution to a lot of our performance early in the season. So he's been tested thoroughly yesterday in in wrestle, and then a collision session today. He was very much tested, so he'll take the field full of confidence that his shoulder's been tested.
You mentioned the experience that the young guys have got there, and Jamal said today, like at the start of the year he was doing 95% of the kicking, but now you've had guys like Kyo and Strangey put a few games together. You've got plenty of options there now.
I think I said in the press conference last week after our last game, or with you, that you don't want injuries, but you've got to. It challenges and tests your depth, and it challenges and tests your recruitment ability. Joel's done a great job in his identification of talent, and they've done a great job for the club now in stepping up into NRL level and playing as an NRL player, those young blokes. And they've filled in for those senior players that got injured early in the season and spent 3 months out. So, they've laid a platform for us, the young blokes. Now the senior blokes have got to come back, and we've got to take that forward.
And now that you've got your full squad back on deck, there's still plenty of time left in the season to put some wins together and make a run at it.
Yeah, we've got to tie some wins together. Simple as that. It's from 13 or 14 to our 5th or 6th on the table is so tight. I've never seen a competition like it. So you string 2 or 3 together, and all of a sudden you're jumping some teams. But it's harder said than done. It's a really, really tough competition.